AnnexA Control 5.5, Contact with Authorities. Picture this, it's 10 past 2 in the morning. Dave, from your fictional 12-person software company, is sitting on the edge of his bed in a dressing gown, laptop balanced on his knees, and the customer database has just started appearing somewhere it very much should not be. What is Dave doing? Dave is Googling. Dave is typing "who do I report a data breach to UK" into a search bar with one hand while the other hand holds a cup of tea he made 40 minutes ago and has not touched. That's the failure right there. That's the whole thing this control exists to prevent. Because here's the uncomfortable bit. The technical part of that incident. Dave might actually be fine at that. He can pull the plug on a server, he can rotate keys, he can get into the logs. What Dave cannot do at 2 in the morning, under adrenaline, on no sleep, is find the correct reporting channel for a supervisory authority, work out whether the clock has already started, and decide whether this is a police matter. So, AnnexA Control 5.5 says the organization shall establish and maintain contact with relevant authorities. Establish and maintain. 2 verbs, both doing work. Establish means you did it in advance, before. On a Tuesday afternoon with a coffee and no adrenaline whatsoever. Maintain means it's not a one-off. You go back and check it still holds, because regulators reorganize, phone numbers change, and the named contact you wrote down 2 years ago has left to go and do something more relaxing, like bomb disposal. Now, who counts as an authority? Broadly, 4 or 5 buckets. Your sector regulator. If you have one: financial services, healthcare, telecoms, gambling, energy. If there's a body that can fine you or pull your license, that's an authority. Your data protection supervisory authority. In the United Kingdom, that's the Information Commissioner's Office. In the European Union, it's whichever national supervisory authority you fall under. This one matters enormously, and I'll come back to it. Law enforcement, police, and in the United Kingdom that includes action fraud as a reporting route for cybercrime. Your national cybersecurity body. In the United Kingdom, the National Cybersecurity Center. Other countries have their equivalent. And emergency services. Yes, actually, fire, ambulance, police, because information security includes physical security, and if your office is on fire, that's an availability incident with flames. Right? The clock. Under United Kingdom data protection law, where a personal data breach is reportable, you have 72 hours from becoming aware of it to notify the Information Commissioner's Office. 72 hours. That is not 72 working hours. That is not 3 business days. If Dave becomes aware at 2 in the morning on a Saturday, the clock is running while Dave sleeps, while Dave has his Sunday roast, and while Dave tells himself he'll deal with it properly on Monday. And I want to be careful here, because this is where people get sloppy. Not every incident is a personal data breach. Not every personal data breach is reportable. There's a risk assessment involved, and if you're in the European Union or another jurisdiction, the specifics differ. I'm not your lawyer, and I'm not an auditor, but the principle holds everywhere. There are statutory clocks. They start whether or not you've noticed, and "we were still investigating" is not a defense anyone has ever been impressed by. So what does actually doing this look like? It's genuinely small. A page, 1 page, a table with columns, authority, why they matter to us, how we contact them, with the actual channel, the actual online form, the actual phone number, any reference or registration number we hold with them, who internally is authorized to make the call, and the deadline that applies. That's the artifact. Print it. Stick a copy somewhere that survives your systems being down. Because a contact list that lives only in the wiki that's currently encrypted by ransomware is a beautiful piece of irony, and absolutely no use to anyone. And maintain means you look at it once a year, or after any structural change, and you check the links still work. 20 minutes, put it in the calendar. Now the failure modes. 3 of them, and they're all real. Failure 1, the 2 in the morning scramble, already covered. Dave with the tea, the cost isn't just the delay. It's that in the vacuum, someone makes a decision they're not authorized to make. Somebody phones the regulator and starts speculating out loud. Somebody tells a customer something that turns out to be wrong. Panic doesn't just slow you down, it makes you talk. Failure 2, the missed deadline. And this one compounds beautifully in the worst sense. Because now you've got two problems. You have the breach, which might have been handled sympathetically. You have the failure to report it on time, which will not be regulators are, in my experience of watching this from the outside, considerably more forgiving of organizations that got hit than of organizations that went quiet. Failure 3, and this is the sneaky one. The contact list that exists but is fiction. Someone built it during certification prep in a rush to close a gap. It names a person who left. It links to a page that redirects to a homepage. It lists a phone number for a help desk that closed. It exists purely to be pointed at. Cute, adorable, even, passes a glance, useless at 2 in the morning, which is the only moment it was ever for. Related controls quickly, because this one doesn't live alone. AnnexA Control 5.6. Contact with special interest groups. That's your peers, your forums, your threat intelligence sharing, the unofficial counterpart to this one. AnnexA Control 5.24. Information Security Incident Management Planning and Preparation. Your contact list is a component of that plan, not a substitute for it. AnnexA Control 5.25 and AnnexA Control 5.26. Assessment and decision on events and response to incidents. AnnexA Control 5.31. Legal, statutory, regulatory, and contractual requirements. That's where you identify which obligations bite in the first place. And AnnexA Control 6.3. Awareness, education, and training, because a list nobody knows about is just a document. No, before you ask, this one is not new in the 2022 version. Contact with authorities has been in there for a long time. Which is almost worse, isn't it? It's not a fresh burden someone sprung on you. It's an old, small, cheap requirement that people have been quietly skipping for years because it doesn't feel technical enough to be important. One more thing, and this is the bit small companies get wrong in the other direction. Do not gold plate this. You do not need a relationship manager at the regulator. You do not need quarterly liaison meetings. You do not need to phone the National Cybersecurity Center to introduce yourself. You are 12 people. You need to know who, how, and by when. Knowing the channel is contact. That's the bar. So here's your dare. Right now, without opening a document, without asking anyone, without a search engine, tell me the exact route you would use to notify your data protection authority of a reportable breach. Not the name of the body, the route. The form, the number, the reference you'd need to hand. If you hesitated, you don't have this control. You have a plan to have it go and make the page. It'll take you an hour. You'll never get a cheaper hour in this whole certification.